Welcome back. We are starting new topic, that is non-destructive testing method (NDT). So in this inspection method without damaging the specimen, it is to find the defects in the specimen and what are the quality in the specimen, what is the quality, and analysis of the properties, what are the property of the specimen and properties like other properties of the specimen. So for example, to know these things, defects, quality, property analysis, properties, for in concrete we do test like rebound hammer test and pulse ultrasonic wave testing. And for metals we do magnetic particle method, liquid penetration method, eddy current method, ultrasonic wave velocity method, and radiography method. So these are the some of the tests which we do to inspect the specimen. And why do we inspect a specimen? To find the defect, what are the defects and what is the quality, analysis the properties and properties of the specimen. So one by one we will discuss about this method. So let's start with the non-destructive testing method for metals, that is first one is magnetic particle method. These are the non-destructive, without breaking the specimen we are doing the inspection. Okay, so let's start. So non-destructive testing method for metal. Non-destructive testing non-destructive testing methods for metals. First one is magnetic particle method. uh, it is to detect the surface and subsurface defect of the specimen. To detect surface and subsurface defects of a specimen. Okay, of a specimen, or that specimen is ferromagnet. Defects of ferromagnet. Example of ferromagnets is iron, cobalt, nickel. These are the ferromagnets: iron, cobalt and nickel. So defect on this type of specimen we use magnetic particle method. So what is magnetic particle method? Suppose in between a magnet, it is north pole, this is south pole, we put the specimen. Suppose this is the specimen with the defects here, and this is the specimen, and we placed inside the metal magnet. So due to this, and we turn on the we started due to magnetic field will pass from here. It is like this, it will be the path of the magnetic field due to the defect. So it will be the path due to the defect, it's get deflected from the straight line. So this will be the path of the magnetic field, and the field is from north to south. Okay, so this is the path, and this path gets deviated here due to this defect in the metal. Okay, now what we will do, we will place magnetic material on the metal surface to know the exact position of the defect. So this is the metal with the defect. This is north and this is south. We place magnetic particles on the surface. On the surface we place magnetic particles. These are the magnetic small magnetic particles. Okay, we place here, and due to this the magnetic field will pass. Now it will pass like this. It will deflected here and will here, and it will be passed like this. See, it will pass like this. So we come to know, due to this deflection is present here, some defect is present here because of the magnetic particle present on the surface of the sheet specimen. So we come to know, yes, here is the defect. Here is the defect. We located the defects. So now applicable for, it is only applicable for magnetic specimen. So this specimen should be magnetic in nature. So applicable for only a magnetic specimen. Okay, so this is the about the magnetic particle method. I'll show you one picture, it will be more clear to you from there. See here, one defect is present, and we placed one magnetic particle here. We placed magnetic particles here and applied magnetic field. So magnetic field, it will give the location. These defects, these deflected magnetic field will give the location of the defect in the specimen. Okay, so these are these magnet, and he is putting magnetic particles, and this is the magnet, and testing on the pipe, I think. Okay, this is the process. See here, some magnetic particles are placed, and this is the magnet, and he is detecting the defect on the this metal surface or specimen. Okay, see, he detected the defects. Okay, see, he detected the defects. Now come back. Now we'll discuss about the liquid penetration method. Now we'll discuss about the second method is for metal, liquid penetration method. liquid penetration method, or we call it as dye penetration method. Dye penetration method, and it is used to detect the detect defects only on the surface. It is used to detect only surface defect, only surface defect. Okay, for example, again take one metal and one crack is here, means defect is present. On this we apply dye, one color of dye, suppose red dye we apply on the surface like this. So this dye will fill the gap. We apply on the surface one dye. Okay, we applied dye. So this is the dye, this is visible dye, visible dye, or it is absorbent, absorbent, it is absorbent. And here liquid penetration, here liquid penetration, here liquid penetration. And after that what we do, after that we remove this layer, we remove this layer of dye, and still on this gap red this dye present, but on the surface we removed it, wiped it from the cloth or something else, and again we applied another color, like different color we applied, again we applied with different color. So this is visible, so we detected the defect. Okay, like this we detect the defect. So applied different color, apply different color dye. Now it is used by action is capillary action. This action is capillary action is used here. Capillary action used here in the crack here, and it is least cost method. Only we are using dye, so cost is very less. So least cost method, dye method is least cost method, and it is used to detect for welding part, defect in welded parts, defects in welded parts and casted part. Okay, now I'll show you some pictures. See here. See here. So this crack was filled with the dirt. We wiped off the dirt, and this crack is cleaned up. Then we applied dye, red dye, and wiped out this dye, but in the crack this dye remains, and after that we applied different color or different colors, so we got to know the location of the defect. So this is least cost. These are the some dyes which we use. So this is the process, liquid penetration method. Okay, now come back. Now we'll discuss about the ultrasonic wave velocity method. Now we are going to discuss about the ultrasonic wave velocity method. Ultrasonic wave velocity, ultrasonic wave velocity method. In ultrasonic wave velocity method, it is used to find the surface and subsurface and internal defects also. And it is used to find the defect, find the surface and subsurface, surface and subsurface and internal defects also. And we know velocity of ultrasonic wave in solid is more as compared to liquid. Ultrasonic wave velocity in liquid and it is greater than ultrasonic wave velocity in gas. Okay, so this is the property. Now what we do, we take one piezometric material and connect it with the battery or cell. This is piezoelectric material. This is piezoelectric material. We connected with this cell and this device. This is one device. In this device, this is the structure, and by using this we put metal which is having defect to detect the defect location, and this piezoelectric material generate ultrasonic wave velocities. So these are the ultrasonic wave velocities. So it deflected back. So these are the ultrasonic wave velocity generated from the piezoelectric material. This is the ultrasonic wave velocity. Suppose, for example, these are the ultrasonic wave velocity which are passing from the metal. From here, this ultrasonic wave velocity reflected back. Suppose another defect is present here like this. So what will happen? Again, ultrasonic wave velocity will come from the piezoelectric material, but it will not pass through. It will get deflected back. Okay. So here we calculate the time interval, time by which it comes here. This sound wave velocity passes through the material. Okay, so by this we came to know about the defects in the material. So it is used in cast iron and welded part inspection. It is used in cast iron to detect the defects in cast iron and welded part inspection. Now I will show some picture. I will show. like this, see here, in here he is sending ultrasonic wave from piezoelectric material to the metal to detect the defects. See here, he is sending in metal, this piece of the metal is sending ultrasonic wave velocities and getting some results here. By interpreting this result, he will come to know where is the defect in this metal. So these are the some, see here, this is how they check by using ultrasonic wave velocity. Okay, now we will discuss about the eddy current method. Now we will discuss about the eddy current method. This is the fourth one. Eddy current method. It is used to detect the surface, subsurface and internal defects also. Eddy current to detect surface, subsurface and internal defects also. And the principle behind this eddy current method is electromagnetism. Principle is electromagnetism. Electromagnetism. So now suppose one magnet is present. This is the north pole, this is the south pole, and one piece of the metal is present inside the magnet, and magnetic field will travel from this, and magnetic field will travel from this, like that, from north to south. It will travel magnetic field, and due to this magnetic field, eddy current will be induced. So it will be in this shape, like suppose it is eddy current is in this shape, circular shape or somewhat circular shape. Now what happened? Some defects is generated in the metal, piece of the metal. Suppose this is the metal in bigger size. I'll show you. So this is south, this is north, and some defects are present, like here some defects are present, and due to this defect and magnetic field suppose got passed from this metal. This is the magnetic field traveled from this. So from north to magnetic field is north to south, and due to this magnetic field eddy current will be generated, but the orientation of the eddy current will be disturbed due to this defect. Suppose this will like this, so orientation will be deflected. Suppose it will be like this. So we came to know the place of the defect. So eddy current loop behavior disturbed due to defect. Eddy current loop behavior disturbed due to the defect. Okay, so this specimen, the specimen must be a good conductor. One point is there, the specimen should be a good conductor, then only this method is should be used. Specimen must be a good conductor. Must be a good conductor. Now I'll show you some pictures. Now it will be clear for you. See here, without defect, this is magnetic field is generated by using this, and this magnetic field, when no defects is present, this eddy current, red one is eddy current's direction, means loop, eddy current loop is not disturbed, and some defect is detected here, so this eddy current direction is means disturbed. Okay, so in this way they detect the defects in the piece of the metal. Okay, now we'll discuss about the radiography method. This is the fifth one. Radiography method. Radiography method. This method is used to detect the surface, subsurface, and internal defect again. To detect surface, subsurface, subsurface, and internal defect. Internal defects also. So it is more accurate, and cost is high of this method. It is more accurate and more cost because of the setup of the radiography method. It is more costly, and it could be done in labs only. For example, take one radioactive material. This is the radioactive source. This is the radioactive source. In front of this radioactive source we put the specimen metal. So this is this, suppose, metal in front of this specimen radioactive source, and some defects are present like this, here and here, and from this radioactive source some rays will be come out like that. And on screen, suppose in behind this picture will be on this frame, on this film. Suppose this is screen or film. On this screen or film, the defects defect wherever it is present, it will be projected on the film. This is a screen or film. On this screen or film, these defects will be projected. So this is the process of radioactive method. Now I will show you pictures. Radioactive radiography method. So see here, this is the source of radioactive source, and this is the specimen. This is a welded specimen, and from this some radiation coming, and on this screen, this or whatever defects present in this portion, it will be projected here. It will be projected on the screen. So this is the radiographic testing. Now we will discuss about the non-destructive testing method for concrete. Now we will discuss about the concrete non-destructive methods for concrete. First one is rebound hammer test. So now we are discussing about the non-destructive testing method for concrete. So first one is rebound hammer test. In rebound hammer test, it is used to find the compressive strength of concrete. It is used to find the compressive strength of concrete. So this is the device which we use, kind of device. One elastic plunger will be inside it. One elastic plunger will be present inside the, like this, and a spring like this, and some calibration will be here. Some calibration will be present like this on this. So this is elastic plunger. Directly on the concrete. Suppose this is the concrete, this is concrete. We compress this, we apply force from behind and compress it on the concrete. Press it on the concrete. After that we get the some readings. We compress it and release, and some reading will be come on the rebound hammer. So this length is rebound length. Whatever reading comes, this is rebound length. Okay. Now the principle is the compressive strength of the concrete. Compressive strength of concrete is directly proportional to rebound length. Higher the strength of concrete, higher would be rebound length, so higher will be the reading. Now clear? I'll show you. Wait. See here, this is the rebound hammer and this is the plunger. We press it into the concrete we press it onto the concrete surface, and after that we release it, so it will come back, it will bounce back, so some reading will come out here, so rebound length will be come out, some reading will come out like this. See here, see we pressed on the concrete, and after that we release the forces, it will rebound back. So now in this way we come to know the strength of the concrete. In this way we come to know the strength of the compressive strength of the concrete. So higher the strength, compressive strength of the concrete, higher reading will become, means higher value will come on the rebound hammer length. So compressive strength of the concrete is directly proportional to rebound length. Okay, now clear. Now we are now last topic in this, we are going to discuss about the pulse ultrasonic wave velocity. So pulse ultrasonic wave velocity is used to find the quality of concrete beam. Second one is for concrete, second test for the concrete is pulse ultrasonic wave velocity. And it is used to find the quality of concrete beam. To find the quality of concrete beam. So PUNDIT Pundit. So pulse ultrasonic digital indicating tester. So this is the setup. Again, some piezoelectric material will be connected to the cell or battery. So this is piezoelectric material. This is the piezoelectric material connected to the cell or battery, and from here, suppose this is piece of the metal, some defects present like that in the metal, and from this some defects, some crack, suppose this is crack, some cracks present. So from this piezoelectric material some wave, ultrasonic wave will be generated like this, and due to these defects this ultrasonic wave will reach somewhat little late to other side of the metal due to these defects. Okay, and due to this defect ultrasonic waves will come with the different velocities also. Suppose v1, v2, v3, v4. Due to these defects velocity gets changed at different level due to these defects. So we take out this different velocity and take the average velocity of it. v1, v2, v3 plus dot 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 vn by n number of velocities. So we take the average velocity of it. From this average velocity we come to know this average velocity is in kilometer per second. We come to know about the quality of the metal or piece specimen. For example, if the velocity is greater than 4 kilometer per second, then the quality is excellent. If the average velocity is greater than 4 kilometer per second, then the quality of the metal is or specimen is excellent. If it is between 4 to 3, then the quality is good. If the average velocity is in between 3 kilometer per second to 2 kilometer per second, then the quality will be of a specimen is average. And the fourth one, if the average velocity is less than 2 kilometer per second, then the quality is not good of the specimen or metal. Okay, now I'll show you this also. Like this. So ultrasonic wave is coming out from one side, and the velocity is getting reading from the other side, from this concrete or specimen. Okay, from this specimen or concrete we take out the average velocities. And calculate according to average velocity. From the table we come to know about the quality of the concrete. So this is the process. This is how from one end they are sending ultrasonic wave, and from other end they are receiving the wave and coming to know about the velocities. So and they know the average velocity. From that average velocity they come to know about the quality of the concrete beam. Okay, this is the process. So with this we complete this topic. That topic was non-destructive testing methods. So we'll continue with the new topic in the next video. Till then, thank you, goodbye.